to give the people what they want. What's up, everybody? I am, of course, driving because I had a funeral today, homegoing, but I didn't want to leave the audience out. So we are here and we are live and in living color. Welcome to, I was going to say hot Atlanta, but it's cold in Atlanta, cold in Buffalo, cold all over the daggone eastern seaboard almost, and down in Houston. Man, it's supposed to be so cold down there. It's ridiculous. So they say there's no such thing as global warming. I'm not sure what's going on. I just left a celebration of life, and another sister who I see on the plane going back and forth to Atlanta was at the service. So she trying to fly out. Those of you who follow me on social media know that my car is, I got a car down that way that's in the shop. I can't get it out the shop. But you know what? Big ups to and I'm gonna give them a shout out right here on the air. I think the place where my car is called Christian Brothers, and I have a convertible, and because of the storm, and nobody can go get this car for me because I don't know many people out there who drive a 7-speed. So the car is stuck at Christian Brothers. It's been there for about 2 weeks. You know, some places up here, they charge you every day that you don't come get it. He called me and said, Mr. Pridgen, we are going to put your car on the inside of our shop before the snow falls so nothing happens to your top.
Hallelujah.
That's just customer. It's very nice. I thought that was very nice and very kind for them to do. So big shout out to Christian Brothers in well, it's a few of them in Atlanta area, but they really they took care of me. But it is cold out here, but it is not bad for Buffalo. The sun is out. I'm looking at 17 degrees right now on the speedometer. And you know, when the sun is out, it makes all of the difference. I can deal with the cold when the sun is out, but when the sun is not out and the wind is blowing in your face, and you got the worst time is when you have to get gas and the sun is not out. But it's a lot going on. How's the city doing with getting these streets clean, Mark?
Hey, we're doing the best we can. Like you said, with this cold weather, you can only do what you can before it turns into ice. And I was, salt doesn't barely work. It melts it, and then if you don't move it, as soon as it melts, it just turns into ice again. So, the city's doing the best it can. You talked about the speedometer saying 17 miles per hour. 17 degrees. The wind chill is actually -10. So if you get hit by that breeze, it feels like -10. So cover up, stay warm. If you ain't got to go anywhere, don't. But we're expecting, just like the rest of, like you said, the eastern seaboard, some more snow possibly this weekend on Sunday. So just is we in it now.
I think that, I mean, obviously when Atlanta gets a sniffle, it's harder because a lot of
Yeah.
people there do not have salt. As a matter of fact, a lot of the hardware stores that had salt in Atlanta area, and especially in some of the suburbs where you have smaller hardware stores, they have sold out. They have sold out some. So if you're going out in Atlanta to get supplies, I just suggest to you call first,
Yeah,
or either
absolutely.
do like a Walmart order so that you can pick it up, because people are getting to these places and they're running out of flashlights. Now listen, you need to have a flashlight regardless whether a storm is coming or not. And just my suggestion, I keep rechargeable flashlights. So all I got to do, something is coming, you just recharge it. You ain't got to worry about batteries because you haven't used it in 88 years.
Right.
But there's certain things you just need in the house to survive.
And
And,
house and a
you
car.
got to, yeah, absolutely. In the house, you got to have, the candles, the flashlights. I'm not a fan of candles, especially if people going to sleep because of anything could happen.
Yep.
But at least having something that you have a light source. That you have, if you don't have a backup generator, I personally do not have a backup generator. And now, may as well forget going to buy one, because the only thing that's going to be left is the ones that's about $2,000,
Basically.
because people panic. They panic. So in Atlanta area, listen, if I give you any advice, if you've never been in an ice storm, um, in Atlanta, stay out of it. Just stay out,
Stay
because
off the
so
road.
many people, they just don't know how to drive in that situation.
And
I
you know,
was coming back from Rochester the other day, even here, and hit a snow squall. People sometimes just don't know how to won't slow down, and that's
yep.
what makes it dangerous.
I was going to say, and shout out, because I know there's some churches in Atlanta that immediately went into innovation mode, and they moving their Sunday morning service to tonight. So, and I think, like I said, it's instead of just canceling, let's ramp up and let's get in our worship before the weather hits. So, I think any preventative measures that you can do, you should do. And like you said, and if you're not ready for it, you're not used to it, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah,
Uh,
and, and listen to those officials that are, even because this is, I've been an elected official, so I know that regardless of what call you make,
yep.
somebody's gonna be like, "Well, why?" Listen, the elected officials are not God, and they're doing the best they can with the information they have. And even, like during the big storm here, although the mayor was saying stay off the street, including me, I was out because I was like, I think it was Christmas Eve. I'm like, I got this one more package to get. And so at the end of the day, as adults, you can do whatever you want to.
Absolutely.
But what is wild to me is when those warnings are there. And okay, so what if the storm doesn't come? At least they gave you the warning, because if it's not a storm this week, it might be next week.
And
So don't get ready, stay ready.
and I was going to say, and to your point, the reason why it is imperative is, if you're not going to do it for your own safety or your own household safety, think about the safety of the first responders, the ones that have to come get you when you get stuck, the fire department, the police department, the paramedics, the public works department, all of these people who are trying to clear the roads, and sometimes they can barely see or barely make it through. You put them at risk just as much by you being foolish and trying to get on the road and go where, because half the time stores are closed. So where are you going?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going out for food, you should go out for food now.
Yes.
And always stay a little stocked up with, at least I know, and I know I'm gonna get 50 people. Canned food ain't good for you. I got it, but we talking about survival. We're not talking about a
Absolutely.
lifestyle. We're talking about survival and being able to have something that you can open up. I'm in the back, but I might have to come around the front because I don't have a key. Um, I'm talking about survival and using a can, not just, oh, this is wild. So I'm coming around the back, and we got the school over here. And it looks like the lunch ladies that ordered DoorDash, Burger King. They're not even eating the food that they get these kids.
Oh.
They got some Burger King, but it's their lunch break. They can get whatever
Hey,
they want to.
do what you gotta do, boo boo.
Let me leave these people alone. Um, so at the end of the day, we want to stay warm, stay safe, and stay in. We got a lot to talk about today. I mean, a lot to talk about today. And I'm going, first of all, much respect to the people who are protesting. What's wild is the man in the White House who is against protesters here, and who ICE is, out here spraying and shooting. Oh, somebody coming in. Hopefully they got a key. I don't know who this is. Um, they're upset with, it's another DoorDash. This is so funny. It's a DoorDash.
Oh, that's hilarious. I think he froze. Oh, see, it's
Think I
sometimes
froze.
I was getting ready to say, see, that's what happens sometimes when we get nosy people. He freezes, and here I am. I had stepped away to try to handle something, try to get you ready for when you came in.
Why don't we throw it to commercial?
Yeah.
And then we'll be right back. Send somebody to open the door for me.
Okay.
When it comes to something as personal as your clothes, you need to deal with somebody you can trust. That's why so many people turn to Hobson's Dry Cleaning, conveniently located in the heart of the community at 874 East Delavan at the corner of Wyoming.
When you take your clothes to Hobson's, you can trust that they'll be ready on time.
You can trust that your whites will be white.
You can trust that you'll always get a fair price and service with a smile.
You can even trust that you won't have to get out of your car if you don't want to. Hobson's has a drive-through window for your convenience.
Trust is what it's all about at Hobson's Dry Cleaning.
Hobson's Dry Cleaning, your one-stop dry cleaners serving the community for over 30 years at 874 East Delavan at the corner of Wyoming. Call 891-8298. That's 891-8298.
See, folks, we used to have runners that used to be able to be here and do stuff. So I'm out of breath because I'm the one that ran to the back to let them in. So we're going to play the next commercial break. I'm going to catch my break and let him get set up, and then we'll be right back.
Brian K. Lewis Funeral Home has 3 locations to serve you in Buffalo: 347 Peckham, 2258 Bailey Avenue, and Providence Memorial Chapel at 1275 Sycamore. Brian K. Lewis Funeral Homes offers traditional services, and they have services for all faiths. And at Brian K. Lewis Funeral Homes, they have air-conditioned parlors and chapels. Financing is available, as is limousine service. At those difficult moments in your life, Brian K. Lewis Funeral Homes is available where you are with counseling services. Call toll-free 877-885-7734. That's 877-885-7734. Or locally 845-5545. Brian K. Lewis Funeral Homes. We are here to serve you, here to serve this present age. Call today, toll-free 877-885-7734. Or email info@brianklewisfuneralhome.com.
Yeah, we are back, out of breath, and I have somebody's Burger King because the man was at the wrong door, and he said, "Is this 907?" He went to the school, so I take that back about the school because the school is 909. He said this for 907.
Oh.
So it wasn't the lunch ladies. So I take that back, lunch ladies. It was somebody over here. So the president is having ICE, for what some people call them rioters here in the States.
Right.
But you tell another country to riot against their supreme leader or their leader, and help is on the way. And then you never send help. And you then start your own mini UN. Now, folks, if you all don't understand this, let me explain to you. The United Nations, or the UN, purpose is to basically keep peace around the world.
Yes.
And so it's all of these countries that get together, and of course the United Nations is their headquarters is right here in the United States. And he has basically started his own group of countries, calling it, what do you call it, the peace?
The board
of peace.
It's called the Board of Peace.
And this board, only he has the power to veto. Did you know that?
Yes.
No other country on this Board of Peace.
He's the chairman and is the only
and he made himself the chairman.
Yeah.
Not the people made himself the chairman. He made himself the chairman.
Yep. No vote.
No vote on it. He just decided, I'm going to be the chairman of the Board of Peace. Now, as of this morning, he kicked out Canada from the Board of Peace.
Yes.
He said because Canada And Canada is showing some grit that I didn't know they had.
Oh, yeah.
Because that Carney got up to the mic and said, not us. We don't, who you? He did like the who you talking to.
Yeah, I loved it. Was when I got to the studio, they were playing the clip, and Trump basically said that I don't know who Canada thinks it is. We make Canada, and he said, "No, you don't make us. We are because we are Canada." I said, "Oh, okay."
The man stood up for his country, and I'm just going to tell you this: it's like having a bully on the playground, and you bullying everybody, and after a while, everybody go like, "Oh, no, we tired of this, and we gonna stand up."
Yeah, absolutely.
We're gonna stand up. You want a board of peace, but you won't help Ukraine.
Yeah.
Like, as they say, make that make sense. So this man creates his own little UN, and then says to one of our greatest allies, Canada, you can't be in this. This is, you can't make this up, folks. The man basically said to Canada, you can't play here. Like Canada is going to, you know how many Americans want to go to Canada right now? You know how many people wish they were in Canada and not dealing with the mess that we're dealing with over here? This is what we're living with. But this might be some of my strongest words for our federal Democrats. Get y'all crap together. Because CNN just put out a poll where they polled Democrats. This is not a Democrat-Republican poll. This is a poll of Democrats. Democrats are losing in the polls as far as the Democratic leadership. Now, Jeffries is doing a little bit better than my guy Chuck. Chuck is tanking right now in the polls. I want to be clear. In the polls of Democrats that just came out, or at least they put it out this morning, the Dems are, let me get my power to the people cup in the shot. There you go. Democrats are disappointed with Democrats, and especially the leadership. Like, come on, y'all gonna let, it's like we getting punked.
And it is true. And sometimes, and we all know it's hard to work from the minority side.
Yeah.
Right. You know, you have a bully pulpit, but you don't have the votes to do anything.
Use the bully pulpit then.
I agree. But it's like, you know, so they do these pressers, but then people then be like, well, what is that? What good is that? But again, we said it last week, and we keep saying it. We asked Congressman Clyburn. We've asked Congressman Kennedy when he was on. Then what is our plan? What is our focus? Where are we going? What should the people on the ground be doing? You know, and if we're focusing on the issues that matter to us, we also want to hear the issues that matter to us coming back to us from our leaders. And if you're only getting that from one side, and we're hearing that it's the Dems' fault, the liberals' fault, conservatives have their message. They have their message and their narrative, and they are running with it. And this is why you have a population of people in the middle that's like, hey, you're forgetting about us. Like, we not in either fight. We just want to live our American life with the promises that was promised in the founding documents.
Yeah, I don't feel like there is a rallying of the base.
No.
And I don't feel, you can say whatever you want to about Mandami and all of that. At the end of the day, he rallied as a base.
Yeah.
And we're watching something. I'm 61 years old. I have never, and I mean, you had Richard Nixon, you had, you know, when I was younger, I don't really remember. But in my adult lifetime, I have never seen such anarchy. I've never seen such disrespect. And from a leader, from a world leader.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say from a world leader, from the leader of the United States of America.
Yes, of the free world.
We are much more civilized than that.
Yes.
And the bad thing is that there are things that I think he says that I agree with. I do not believe that if you are a criminal,
Right.
but everybody is not a criminal just because you're an immigrant.
Right.
If you did something wrong and you're not supposed to be here, yes, do what you got to do. But at the end of the day, to just go after everybody and then to do executive orders and not even include the elected officials of this country to put tariffs that are costing us money.
Yep.
These tariffs are not the businesses, folks. You got to understand this. The businesses are just passing the tariffs or the taxes that he's putting on goods that are coming in to the consumer.
Yep. That's how tariffs work.
So who's paying it? We are.
Yes.
Yet you don't want to raise taxes on the super rich. So it's the middle class. It's the poor that's paying the most, that is costing the most. Yet everything is being cut that benefits people to be able to advance in life, including school loans.
Yep.
Now, it's like now it's all kinds of changes that have happened to the school loan program. And at the end of the day, and thank God, and if we have a chance, we'll talk a little bit about the proposed budget from the governor. But thank God we have a governor who's saying we got to deal with child care in New York State.
Yeah.
And we've got to help with child care. Because whether we like it or not, there are some people who, whether it's for life choices or situations that was beyond their control, we're always going to have people who struggle.
Yes.
And we cannot pretend that we're going to ignore those who are struggling and think it's going to be okay. Because if you do, crime is going up. It's just, you got to see the whole picture. And I don't think this guy does.
No, because and it's clear all he sees is green. All he sees is how can he become a world leader and a monarchy like some of the other countries who you say are enemies, but you're modeling your behavior after being like Russia and North Korea and some of these other communist states.
Yeah.
But we still want to do this under the premise of democracy, but you are allowing a president to operate like it's a communist society. And I think the growing pain and struggle is, again, we may not always agree, and that's the beauty of this country. We may not always we may not always be the same, and again, that's the beauty of the fabric of this country. But like you said, we've always had a level of decorum.
Yes.
We were always in 250 years, what this country is celebrating this year, 250 years, we're still the baby in this world. And luckily, we've become the world power, but we're also on that brink. Oh, I think we found out whose it is.
Yeah. Somebody's.
I think even as this baby country and as how we've been able to become a world power, we also have to realize that you still have ancient power mindsets that are just waiting to figure out how we can take out the world power and the leader of the free world. And we can create enemies in these 4 years. We
are creating them every day.
We can create
these, well, we're not here.
Yes, we can create these fake boards and everything else. And, one of the things that, being from Philly, I just saw a reel on Independence Mall. They're taking down all the references to George Washington's slaves on the national landmark. And it's like, you can erase it. It doesn't mean history is gone. Like, you can take it down. It doesn't mean history is gone. So we're losing our history, and I think we're jeopardizing our future.
Well, I watched the King's celebration in Atlanta the other day, and Reverend A.R. Bernard did a masterful job in his speech. Commended him, and he talked about silence. Just because you silent us, it doesn't mean we go away.
No,
And so to take these things down, and I don't know what's wrong with our internet here. You on the church internet?
Yes.
It won't let me in. All right. We're just having a terrific day here. Let me restart. But yeah, taking down our history because you want to act like it's not there. But this is the same person who also suggested that some of those who were enslaved
wanted to be.
They wanted to be. They were better off. Like, I'm glad he's doing what he's doing.
Absolutely.
I'm glad that he is angering almost every country except countries that give him planes.
Yes.
And this is the bad thing. You know, if Barack had done a quarter of this, I know now, see, in Atlanta, you see MAGA stuff all over the place.
Yeah.
In certain areas.
Well, in Western New York, outside of the.
Well, I saw a hat the other day
Yeah.
in Tops, a guy.
Yeah.
I don't know how I was just like.
It freezes you for a second.
So I look, he in the self-checkout line, you got a MAGA hat on. Now, I don't know why it affected me so much that I kind of mean mugged him a little bit. He ain't look up at me. I wanted him to, and that wasn't right. But at the end of the day, it just shocked me. You in Tops with a MAGA hat on.
Yeah.
And especially knowing the history of Tops. I know that MAGA doesn't mean, what the guy did, but you got to admit, MAGAs,
Yeah. MAGAs.
that MAGA Kingdom is not overly friendly
Yeah.
to people of color, and especially to our history.
No.
Matter of fact, you're pretty disrespectful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it make people who not saved. I'm getting so close to the edge. I'm trying because I don't need the CIA and Secret Service at my door.
Well,
I ain't talking about him. I'm talking about it make you want to, yeah.
Well, somewhat. B. Gene Robinson Adams that should have knocked it off, Bishop.
Let me see if I got internet now. And so, yeah, we dealing with a lot. So the protests continue in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
And all over. They sent, I don't even know who these people are. They sent one of the officials. No, when the vice president went down. And so now they're all upset and prosecuting people. Now, listen to this. Who protested at a church. Now, I do feel that there is a limit, but here's my problem with prosecuting them. You ain't prosecuted nothing else except if somebody has free speech against you.
Yep.
And what you're doing.
Yep.
A light-skinned American went into New Birth the other week, protesting loudly.
Yep. During service in the hall.
Why he not prosecuted? Why is he not prosecuted? You came in to another congregation's church. Come to True Bethel and do that.
You can
try if you want to. You can try if you want to. It's gonna be a misunderstanding.
No, it's gonna be a clear understanding. It won't be a misunderstanding. It'll be a clear understanding.
He comes in, and they trying their best, and but there's no mention, and that went viral.
Sure did.
Why is there no mention of prosecuting them or anybody else? But they already got 3 of them.
Yep.
And they were trying to get Don Lemon.
Yeah.
Don Lemon was there as a reporter.
Yep.
Those of you who remember Don Lemon, he was on CNN.
Yep.
He now has his own podcast stuff or whatever. He identified himself. I'm not with this group.
Yep.
I'm here reporting. Yet they still tried to prosecute him.
And it's not, and it wasn't so much about the church and religion. It was because the pastor works for ICE, and that's why they chose that particular place of worship. It wasn't anything to do about the religion. It was because of who the pastor was and where he works.
Exactly.
So there was a reason.
There was a reason. There was a reason. But how do we pick and choose so that now when we talk about this country is now almost a militaristic country.
Yep.
Almost communism, whether you want to admit it or not.
Absolutely.
When
Controlling
you
media.
want to try control the media,
Yep.
because he's suing now Chase Bank, I think,
Yeah,
for
JP
billions, JP Morgan
Yep.
for closing his accounts after the insurrection. So now you want everybody to have to sit and just be quiet, be scared, or else they might come and be quiet, be scared. And that's my problem with the federal leadership right now of the Democratic Party. I'm not going to tell you any story. Because, you said earlier, like, well, people say, well, all you did was do something.
Yeah.
Do something more than sending me an email.
Please.
Asking me for another donation.
I was going to say asking for more money.
Right.
They good at that.
I'm not sending another $15, $20, $30 until where's our book, Democrats?
Yeah.
Where is our what are we what's happening? The only one that stood now, I'll say this for Hakeem. He stood there and didn't go to the bathroom for 3 weeks.
Him and Corey holding it down.
Him and Corey, right? It was Corey, and Hakeem did it too, right?
yeah.
Right. Okay, so they did, and people could say it was ineffective. It was something.
Yes, do something.
At the end of the day, the one who stood up was Newsom. Newsom, like, you want to play this game?
Yep.
Out of California.
Yeah, we gonna redistrict just like y'all.
Newsom walked out and was like, Psh, I ain't scared of you. Same way with Carney in Canada. And all it takes is for people to stand up and go, we're not going for this crap. And to hold up the proceedings in Congress.
Yep.
Boo to you Democrats who, when the first shutdown happened, you caved in.
Yep.
That was an opportunity, but you caved in.
Yeah.
Boo.
Yep.
Boo to those who get paid when other people don't get paid. Because when there's a shutdown, you still get your money.
It's crazy.
It's time for our Democratic Party in D.C. to stand on business. Stand on business. That's what this man doing.
Yep.
He doing whatever the hell he wants to do. Stand on business.
Stand on something. Stand on something. If it's just one issue, we got to fight. Tell us the issue and we all fight.
And let's fight.
And let's fight.
Let's turn this man around. Let's make him have to think. Let's make him have to cooperate. Listen, there's enough Democrats that there are some things that the president is proposing that will say yes.
Yeah.
We get it. Yes, we want less crime in our cities.
Absolutely.
We just want it to be done the right way. And if somebody says what the right way, well, you don't send what I learned today. ICE, there's certain training ICE has never had when it comes to what they're doing right now.
Never.
Because they're expected to have the help of the local police department.
Yes.
Now they are acting as police.
Yep.
Because they're going into areas, because it's political. You're going into areas with Democrats as mayors,
Yep.
Democrats as governors. So the mayors are saying, we're not helping.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, our own governor has said, we're not helping.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, now you become the police and you shoot people for driving away.
And now they have a court order that basically says you don't have to follow due process. So now they have a letter from a federal order from a federal judge that says, oh yeah, you believe there's an illegal in there. Yeah, you don't have to knock. Just bust down the door and do whatever you got to do. That, and again, that goes against the Constitution. That is against due process in this country because, again, and like you said, and I agree, if you're illegal and if you do illegal things, crimes in this country, by all means. Because if you did something illegal and we convicted you to do something illegal, then that's due process.
Due process.
But just to, you know what, you look like you could be
Absolutely.
illegal, that's not due process.
How would we like if now across the world stage, and this is where I'm getting afraid to travel, is especially abroad because you making these countries mad.
Yep.
If y'all better be careful some of the countries you visit because you drop a piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to pick you up.
End up like Brittany Griner over there in the cell and trying to get out for just a little piece of something.
Little piece of something. Well, something. Just B. Joanne Robinson Adams. I'm just going to call you BJRA. There's a lot of names. Trump stays clear of China. You don't really want to fight them, 1 billion people. China got a tight military, too.
Yeah.
I'm scared of China.
Yeah.
If we had to fight China, I'm a vet. I'd be like, yo.
It ain't even about that. You just don't even know what technology they operate over
Man.
there. Like, I'm good on that.
While
like,
Trump talking about building new boats, and because he want flashy boats. Do you think if there is another world conflict, and I mean war, that they're going to be using old technology? They already look at Ukraine and Russia. They're using drones.
Yes.
Whoever thought we'd be afraid every time a drone go over? They're using drones.
Yeah.
And China that's why the whole thing with TikTok.
Yeah.
And why they didn't want military personnel to have TikTok.
Well, you know what's interesting now? I just got the email that TikTok has started their U.S. subsidiary.
Yeah.
So I just got the email.
It was on this morning.
Yeah, so that they're doing the conversions, and they're like, oh, your account would now fall under blah blah blah. And I was like, oh,
That was our biggest problem. TikTok. That's our biggest problem.
Yeah.
Taking TikTok away from China. Okay, if it was a threat, that's good. But you was careful.
But TikTok was a threat. But we had known evidence that foreign countries were using Facebook and other social media platforms, X and Twitter at the time. They were using bots and everything else to persuade American voters on how to vote in an election. Nothing. That you brought them all before Congress. You had all of these hearings, and Mark Zuckerberg ended up sitting on one of your boards.
Again, as they say, make it make sense. Charles Everhard on Facebook says both sides of the aisle has given in to Trump for their own survival politically. Oh, I tend to agree with you, sir. Sandra Scruggs, it's not just him, it's his administration. They are steering the ship. He's just the front man with his lunacy. He is the front man, and they're steering the ship the way he wants them to.
Yeah.
And the way he said he was going to do it.
Yes, he did.
Yet the African-American, this is Sandra Scruggs, she says, yet the African-American community still supports him as a black conservative. I'm not sure.
I will, and now I'll jump in. Now, again, there are I won't say a good number, but there is a percentage of African Americans who are still registered Republicans. Some of them go back to, they call them Lincoln Republicans.
Okay.
And historically, Republicans, black folks went with Republicans because of the religious views, the economic views, the conservative views.
Mm-hmm.
What some people really don't realize is colored folk didn't go Democrat until John F. Kennedy.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really...
Oh, absolutely.
And that was really because his brother, Robert, said, hey, listen, we up here in Camelot, there's a whole untouched base that's ripe. Let's go get Dr. King and swing the tide. That's when a lot of us ended up on the liberal side because of civil rights. So we not, like, to the point, for a lot of us, we're not that, as a group, we are not 200 years as Democrats.
Absolutely. And I'm trying to get all these comments in. Kamal says, no to mass law enforcement. Only Putin is pleased with Trump's actions. He is acting as Putin's puppet. Because the war was supposed to be over in a day.
Over. But yet every other day it's, we over here meeting. We have Mar-a-Lago meeting. Now we meeting back in Europe.
But in the meantime, people are dying.
Still.
But in the meantime, I got it. I even though I hate this little phrase, make that make sense.
Make it make sense.
We are. Our president just made a board of peace.
Board of peace.
with little itty bitty countries.
But the Board of Peace is to figure out how we can take over Greenland and how we can be more involved in Gaza. What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
But that's peace.
That's peace.
And then you say you got a framework to take over Greenland when you don't even need it because there's already an agreement that the United States can increase its military presence in Greenland.
Already a military treaty.
It doesn't make sense. You went in a room with the head of the UN and then you say, we got an agreement. Let me see. What countries are on the Board of Peace? I want your what countries are on
I was trying to look it up myself.
the Board of Peace? I'm going to give it to you right now. Here are the countries that are a part of this Board of Peace with this man who is sitting back watching Ukraine get blown up to smithereens. Albania. Ooh. Argentina, Armenia. It's a country I can't even pronounce. Azerbaijan, Bahrain, Belarus, Bulgaria, Egypt is big. Hungary, Indonesia, Israel. Y'all just let that sit in for a minute. Y'all let that sit in for a minute. The man who you almost had to tie his hands back to stop bombing.
I was going to say, if we have to say the name, Netanyahu.
Netanyahu. So this is not anti-Semitic at all. This is about one man who he sits there now. Jordan, Kuwait, Magnolia, Morocco, Qatar, of course, Saudi Arabia, of course, United Arab Emirates, United States, Vietnam. I mean, this disrespectful.
I can't.
This disrespectful.
I can't. Were you finished? Because I got.
I'm done.
The higher level. Here's the executive committee members: Donald J. Trump.
Oh, the head of it.
The head of it. Marco Rubio.
Wait a minute. How do you have more than one from the United States in leadership?
Oh, it gets better. Marco Rubio, Steve Witkoff, who's the U.S. Special Envoy to the Middle East. Jared Kushner, remember that name?
Yeah.
Senior advisor. Tony Blair, the former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom.
Former is the word.
Yeah. Mark Rowan, the CEO of Apollo Global Management, a private sector executive.
Okay.
Aja Banga, the president of the World Bank, and Robert Gabriel, a political advisor from the U.S. So there's
this is bull. This is bull. I call bull on your Board of Peace so that you don't have to answer to the United Nations. And you are the only one that has the veto power.
The executive committee has no nations represented.
Has he not seen that this has not worked in the past? Let's go over to the Kennedy Center that you took over and you put your name on and you made yourself the head of the board.
Yep.
And now some of the most sought after acts and artists are saying, no, we're not performing there. We're not going over there because where did they get the sign made that quick? They got the sign made. Okay. Okay. I'm make that make sense. What else did I say I was talking about today?
I was getting ready to say
the Bills.
Yeah.
All right. I usually don't talk sports because the Buffalo Bills.
Well, actually, we could talk Bills and Atlanta since we are in Atlanta.
Go ahead.
But I'll let you open.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. You sports. You can have sports all day.
Because, all right, let me start with Atlanta because that might be easier. All right, so my Atlanta Falcons fans, let me understand. So you fire your black GM and your black head coach. You bring in Matt Ryan. Okay, you want to bring in Matty Ice as your football guy. His first decision to hire a head coach is Kevin Stefanski.
Okay.
Kevin Stefanski.
I'm reading it. Mm-hmm.
Kevin Stefanski was just fired by the Cleveland Browns. Kevin Stefanski just had the most epic failure of handling a quarterbacks, and especially the famous Shedeur Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
But the Shedeur Sanders, Deshaun Watson, Joe Flacco, whatever quarterback situation Cleveland had, he destroyed it. So your starting quarterback is Michael Penix Jr. a young black guy and you hire someone who just had the most failed experiment with young quarterbacks, make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
That should be today's show title. Make it make sense. So now let's come to Buffalo. I am not a Bills fan, so that.
Well, and I saw your post, and I saw my son,
Yeah.
Markeith, disagreed with you, but you had a post that you put up.
I did. I had a post, and I said, "You fire McDermott," and again, I personally have had conversations with him, so I did get to know him. But as a football guy, you don't fire McDermott, who is the winningest coach in the NFL since 2022,
and who brought Buffalo out of the drought.
And I'm trying because my mind is blown. So you get rid of him, but the guy over personnel who put the team together,
you keep him,
gets a promotion.
You keep him and move him up the ladder.
I don't get it. I don't get it. To the point, and my next post on the day of the press conference was, I've never got a raise and a promotion and been able to say the line, "Oh, but I could have did so much better."
Well, here's the point. I'm not all into sports. I do watch the Bills, but I happened to wake up when the press conference was. I happened to turn, and I was like, "Are they for real?" Like, even as a deep sports guy, I was like, "Who is advising them? Who told you to get on here and say this foolishness?" And make excuses. And then to say you made the decision in the locker room so it wasn't like it was planned.
No.
I get that coaches come and coaches go.
Yep.
And I get if you say, listen, if we don't get to the Super Bowl,
right,
that we got to part ways, right?
Absolutely.
So now I know that. But you were in the locker room, and because it was tears and everybody crying, you decide, okay, I'm gonna fire this dude.
This is it. And the thing is, you say, "Oh, I saw our quarterback crying. I saw Deion Dawkins crying. I saw these people." Yeah, we all cry.
Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes when those checks come. I don't give a god doggone about nobody crying about a football game, and you making millions upon millions of dollars. It's a game, and at the end of the day, you admitted you fired them based on what was going on in the locker room, not on the field.
Well, and so multiple things are at play because now you've already been basically called out for your lie in the press conference because you tried to say Keon Coleman's draft was a coach's decision, but you forgot that your team was on Hard Knocks, and Brandon Beane for 3 episodes talked about, "Oh man, it's Keon Coleman unless we get a crazy package to trade the pick." And then you sit here and go 5, 2, 3, 2, 6, blah blah blah. You guys don't know what those numbers means. That's our playoff seeding. So we had clearly a good roster. No, you had good coaching. And you fired him and promoted the guy that put together this terrible roster.
Terrible. Big ups to, I'm coming back to that, Senator Baskin in state appointed chair of Economic Development Committee. That's a big committee. And she told me, talked to her last week, she wanted it. She actually asked to be there, and so we're going to see what's happening in Albany, especially now that we're back in session. I couldn't get to the governor's, but okay, I'm going to go back to the governor. I don't believe that happened. And you know what I'm so glad? I did not renew my seat because I think we're in for trouble. And Josh is not thrilled about it. And the reason I know, let me say allegedly,
okay,
is because when they asked him in the press conference did he consult with Josh, he said he told him afterward. And they said, what was his reaction? Now, if Josh had been with it, he would have been like, he supported it. He said, so that's why I say allegedly, well, it was a private conversation.
Of course.
Because Josh Price said, what in the donkey dunk did you just do?
Well,
I got a baby and I got a wife. Why you just messed up the team?
You messed up the flow. And then I just posted before we went on, they said, according to Adam Schefter from ESPN,
yeah, let's make sure.
They are bringing in Phillip Rivers as a head coaching candidate. Now, for those who don't know Phillip Rivers, the Indianapolis Colts just dragged him out of a 5-year retirement to play 3 games. He was the head coach at a high school. Now he's up for an NFL head coach in Tennessee. Buffalo, be prepared for 5 years, and Josh Allen is either going to leave.
I think so.
Or you're not going to have a Super Bowl for the rest of his career.
I think Josh Allen loves Buffalo, but this ain't about Buffalo. He'll love somebody else.
Oh, absolutely.
He will love somebody else.
We all love who pays us the most.
He will love somebody else.
And listen, and if I'm Keon Coleman, the first call I made was to my agent, like, okay, well, who's calling? Because
I heard that might be a good thing for him.
I'm trying to go somewhere warm. What?
Sports World is, I watched Shannon Sharp the other day talk about it. I watched Ocho Cinco talk about it. Now, look at me. I'm calling audience. See? Telling you.
You in the game now.
I'm in the game when it comes to Buffalo, and y'all messing up. Listen, we were close. It was a game.
It was.
It was one game.
One game.
Now, if you put that man on notice now and say, listen, next year this is it. We're going into a new football stadium.
Yep.
With new leadership.
Now's not the time.
And trying to figure our way around.
Now's not the time.
That's like letting the assistant pastor preach on Easter Sunday. That's where it's like,
it's
listen,
like
I know you ain't preached all week, all year, but you got Easter. you got Easter. I don't know. I ain't heard your presentation, but you have Easter, Reverend. Because that's what we just did when we fired McDermott. We're going into a new stadium. I wish I would build this new church over here. And the first Sunday,
I'm retired.
I ain't even retired. I'm going to let somebody else get up in that pulpit. The first person going to preach in that pulpit, if the Lord says the same, if he keep me alive. I don't care if I'm on a wheelchair and 2 canes.
Wheel me to that podium.
I didn't build. The Lord has given me the ability to build this over years, and then I'm handing it off. I'm too close. What they say, I'm too close to head. We played all our commercials, right?
Yes.
We played Brian K. Lewis Funeral Home. We played Hobson's the Dr. Dry Cleaner, right?
Yes. And just for those know, I'll give it a shout out. I talked to Mrs. Hobson's. We are doing a trailblazing ceremony for Dr. Walter C. Hobson on Monday, February 2nd. So at 11 a.m. So the word will probably be getting out on social media. So shout out to her for honoring Dr. Hobson.
We got to get some footage for that.
Yeah.
And get it on the show.
Yeah.
We got to get some footage, and then that way, and interview some people that's out there.
Okay.
I mean,
so
we didn't get to the budget.
I was going to say, well, your post said, what do all these things have in common? So
that we're going to talk about. Did y'all not get it? It said we're going to talk about them all on the show. That's what they all got in common. Are you serious? And you a pretty sharp knife. I saw somebody wrote, I don't know. What? I said, answer. We're going to talk about them on the show.
Listen, I was prepared for the show, so I honestly just shared it real quick, and I was like, okay, we gonna figure it out. But I think we figured it out. None of it makes sense. None of it makes sense.
It is just that it's all gonna be discussed. Which part of that didn't y'all get? I mean, I know I'm not the good one with the punchline, but dang.
None of it makes sense. I'm making sure this show is titled.
That's what this one is titled.
Make it make sense.
Well, we didn't get to the budget, but it's no big shiny things in the budget because, it's about to be election time.
Yeah, ain't nobody rocking the boat.
My sister Kathy said, hold on. Let's just, we got one to drop out. I got to deal with this one unknown. Let me not make any missteps right now. Let's just get these bills paid.
I was say, we're going to keep this Titanic real. We're going to keep this boat afloat.
Listen, folks, it's been great. I'm showing 12:59. Hopefully I'll get to Atlanta sometime within the next 2 weeks to get my car. But I don't want to go to Atlanta if it's snow here and snow there. So have a holly jolly Christmas because that's what it's feeling like right now.
I was going to say, this is the second week in a row, third week in a row that people are really saying we need a 2-hour show.
Hey, we'll see what the Lord says. Until next week, power to the people.